Hi everyone, it's me, Natalia Fickenworth, the founder of MilkHoneyAdvice, and I'm here again with John Mazziotti, who is running for mayor of Palm Bay. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to interview you again.
Thank you for interviewing me.
All right. So, what have you been up to in all these 3 years that I haven't seen you?
Nothing really. I've been involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The one in Palm Bay?
yes,
Okay.
that's the only one I go to.
Okay.
And I go to I'm an ambassador, one of the ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the ribbon cuttings and this and that, and I sit on a couple different committees with them. So I stay involved in that. I also sit on two of the hospital boards at Palm Bay Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
One's a regular board, it's basically information, and the other one's a pretty neat one. It's called the Family and Patient Advisory Committee, and we go in and talk with the different patients and get their perception of how they're being treated by the hospital.
Mm.
And it's pretty good because their perception may be different than what's really happening.
Right.
So, but most of the people are really happy with the Palm Bay Hospital, I found. So, I'm sure there's a few that aren't, but majority of them are very happy with the hospital.
Okay. All right. And what made you want to be mayor again?
Well, it's a long story actually, but basically, the guy that's there, I've let him go through his term. I try not to interfere because then it looks like you got sour grapes in this and that. So I just let him go, and I don't see any advancement, any growing. I see him doing a lot of things, that shouldn't be done. And there's a lot of things he could be doing that he's not doing. So, to make a long story short, I've got like over 20 years of serving the community, 18 on council alone, as mayor or council member. And, when I talk with people and I talk with other people about it, they agree that there's a lot of ways that he can be doing the job better and he's not. So, he does a lot of traveling throughout the country with taxpayer dollars. And it's good if he's bringing something back with it, but he's not.
I see.
So he thinks the city of Palm Bay is his own personal piggy bank.
Mm.
So then there's a few other things which,
And how long have you been in Palm Bay?
we moved here in 1986, the day the shuttle blew up, I remember.
Mm.
Same day, so we've been here about 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the city of Palm Bay.
In the city.
Been in Florida for about 32 years.
Okay. All right.
And by the way, I still live in the same house I bought 30 years ago.
Very
so,
nice.
Yeah. So,
You must like your house a lot.
well, we're there. So.
All right. And what will you offer if you got elected?
Well, I offer that I'm available to the community. I've always been available. I attend different local meetings, different groups, and whether it's the American Legion or the Chamber of Commerce or different homeowners association, all they got to do is mention I'm there. So the residents have always had easy access to me, and I try to make sure they have easy access. Most people have a problem. They really want somebody to look at it and see if they can resolve the problem for them. If you're not here, you can't do that. So take all the trips you want to take. The truth of the matter is that you should be here in the city. We hire professionals to do the job of gathering up different businesses and so forth. And that's what we should be doing. We, as residents or as council members, we set the rules and we tell the city manager how to do them, and that's his job. So.
Okay. All right. And how's the family and the wife?
Everybody's fine. The wife just retired. She's a school teacher at Turner Elementary. She's there for 20-some years. She just retired. So now she's driving me crazy. No, she's all right. But she's involved with some different clubs and organizations too. I think she's starting to get a little bit bored, and that'll happen to you after a while. So, then I have my daughters. One lives in Pennsylvania, and the other two live right here in Palm Bay. So they're both doing well. My one daughter actually just became a RN registered nurse at Palm Bay Hospital.
Oh, very nice.
So that's about a year ago she's gotten there. So.
Yay. Congratulations.
And the other daughter's got the same job she's had for probably 12, 13 years.
Wow.
So.
That's a very good thing. All right. And what movements or changes are you planning for Palm Bay? What are you going to do for Palm Bay?
I'm going to try to, basically the plans are pretty much the same. They just haven't been doing them. During the time when I was here before, the money was tight. We couldn't do a lot because we were coming through the recession.
Right.
But roads and drainage are the #1 issue in Palm Bay, will always be. We need to have a plan in place, and I do have a plan in place. And I've mentioned it to a few council members. They did not seem to want to bring it up for discussion, so I'm going to bring it up for discussion. Another problem we got that's really a more recent problem, when I say recent, 5, 6 years, the traffic. Traffic in the city's getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
And we need to address, what we have is like 2 or 3 main roads, and everything goes into those roads. We need to have more roads that can carry the bulk of the traffic, and so that's another thing. And then we need to get some business. We've lost a lot of jobs in Palm Bay. We lost a lot of businesses. You had Bell's Outlet, Big Lots, Kmart, and a few other stores. About 8 or 9 stores that moved out of town. And those, not only for the jobs, but it's the shopping. So we need to create an atmosphere where more businesses will want to come here, maybe manufacturing jobs. And we need to have our economic development people go out and actively research this and see if they can get people to come back here. So there's a lot of things that need to be done, and they have not been done. And there's a lot of things they'll say, if you ask them what's happening, they'll say, well, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, but it hasn't happened.
There's no action.
So yeah, so when I see it happening, then I'll say, gee, you're right.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to bring movement, change.
We're going to start doing
Progress.
well, like they say, we're going to rock and roll. We're going to get things going.
Okay.
But the thing is important that you have to remember, we need to have a controlled growth in this community. We don't need just carte blanche like it's been in the past where everybody just moves in and then you can't support the people that are here. We need to have more controlled growth, and then we need to work with the homeowners, work with the residents. And then another big problem that we need to address probably is the Indian River Lagoon, with all the pesticides and so forth going into that. So there are a lot of issues and a lot of things that need to be done. And maybe we need to put a committee together and take a look at it. But that's not just Palm Bay, the lagoon. That's all the cities in Brevard County plus Indian River County.
Right. Okay. Alright, and refresh our memories. Why did you get involved in politics?
Originally? That's a long time ago. Well, I have been serving on different city boards, and I've always done that, and I enjoy doing that. But there were things that were happening that nobody was addressing. And then if you went to council to ask for opinions or get them to address it, they would sort of just, ignore it or not do anything and so forth. So that's it. The only way I'm going to get a change to happen in the city is if I go out there and I run. And in the process of me running and doing that, I found out that there was a lot of support. A lot of people felt the same way. They were not getting the gratification or satisfaction from council that they don't. When you go up and you say, I got a problem, can you help me? You don't want to be just pushed aside. You want somebody to say, yes, I can help you, and if I can't help you, this is why.
Right.
So we weren't even getting that, so. So I ran, and we won.
Good.
So.
You wanted to make changes, and you became the change.
Well, part of the change. I'm a big believer that I don't do anything by myself.
That's
It's a team.
That's good.
So the city council, the city staff work together to try to improve the community as a whole.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to place you at the age of 10 or 15, and is there a childhood memory that you can recall that would build the person you are today?
Well, I'll give you one memory I remember when I was 12 years old. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I went to school there for a while. And then all of a sudden, we packed up and moved to Pennsylvania, and near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I love that area, by the way, but that was a big change for me at that age. I lost all my friends and this and that, so and moved to a brand new place. And not only that, coming from New York, and then we moved to Pennsylvania, I had a funny accent too, so couldn't even hide it. So I enjoy the accent. I think it's great. So that was a pretty traumatic experience for me because that put a lot of reverses on my whole life. So, as time progressed, hopefully I molded into where I was going to go with it, and hopefully I turned out to be better than I could have been or should have been. So.
Okay.